Hello, I'm IBX and welcome back to QnA Saturday. QnA Saturday is a weekly series I run on my channel where I answer your questions about the next big update for Minecraft Xbox and Minecraft PlayStation. We don't know whether it's going to be called Title Update 25 or 26, but what we do know is 4J has been making quite a few more hints about it, and I think the big reveal for this next update, with like a rough release date and with some screenshots, is going to be happening very soon. But anyway, these questions all do come from last week's comment sections. If you want to ask any questions for next week's Q&A, leave them in the comments down below. I pick those from there. Of course, I do get hundreds of comments, but I do try and pick like at least 10 or so each week to answer through for the Q&A, and that's what I'm doing this week, so let's get straight into it with the very first question, which comes in from SXVXN, I think I got that right, who asks, they must make a fortune when they release new DLC. Great video. By the way, thanks for that, I appreciate that. But yeah, to answer the question about the fortune thing, they do actually make a fortune when they release DLC. That is one of the big reasons why having user-created stuff is not on the cards to them, which seems really cynical, but you know, that's how business works. You don't like cut off streams of revenue for yourself, especially if you have to go out of way to do it. Like, there's no point to pay money to lose money. Like, that's just not a business thing. And given that they sold at least 1 million copies of the first skin pack, which even if they sell it for $1, that's still $1 million, which even after Microsoft's cut, which now actually just goes straight back to Microsoft, but yeah, even after Microsoft cut, that's still 700,000. That's a lot of money they can make for each piece of DLC. It's a significant amount of money, and yeah, there's no point in them cutting off their own sources of revenue by doing this, and that's why we will never see user-created DLC. Like, that's an extra way of thinking about it. As you know, again, I'm not trying to be too cynical. That's just kind of the way business works, and you know, it's one of the ways I think they do things. So, the next question comes in from Aiden Sheridan, who asks, or Sheridan, Easy A, who asks, will there be bunnies? And this is one I get a surprising amount. Like, I guess bunnies are the next hotly anticipated feature. Like, there was horses, and now there is bunnies that people want. And to answer this one, I think bunnies are something that are very likely in this next update, because it looks like so far, based on what we've seen with Title Update 24, it looks like Title Update 26, 5, whatever you want to call it, it looks like that update is going to actually, you know, try and include as many 1.8 features as it can. It might just also be all of 1.8. That's another theory. And bunnies are a 1.8 feature. They're one of the easier 1.8 features. They don't really do too much, and they are one of the cooler ones. So I imagine if they're going to bring forward some 1.8 features, bunnies will definitely make the cut, and they might just bring forward all of them. So with that said, I think bunnies are a pretty serious likelihood at this point. Next question comes in from Paul Lanigan, who asks, will we ever get emerald tools and armor in Minecraft Xbox 60? And this is one like I get quite a lot again, because you know, emeralds is like, it's the only kind of like resource you get below ground that can't be turned into armor. Like, you get your iron, you get your gold, you even get the gold, which is useless, but you get the diamond. And the reason for this is that emeralds were literally made to be a currency. Like, they are just a currency. You can only use them for trading with villagers, or you can use them to make emerald blocks. Those are their two like purposes in the game. Like, there's no like actual functionality for it. And if you can make emerald swords, emerald tools, emerald armor, then that would lose the purpose of that, and you could trade to make a set of emerald armor. Like, it'd be kind of messy. Right now, all it is you can like have emeralds to trade with, or you can make emerald blocks to show off your wealth. Having more to you know than that in the dynamic could make things confusing, and that's probably the reason that they haven't done it. So I imagine emerald armor and emerald tools are never going to be a thing, unfortunately. Which is unfortunate, but at the same time makes a lot of sense, given that you need a currency. Like, it'd be lame in real life if you could make money armor. Like, actually, that'd be pretty cool, and you can do that. But, you know, it's not actually going to protect you very much, and there's a reason for that. At least I think so. So, next question comes in from Noah and Mankick, who asks, Toycat, knowing how 4J is, will they ever add host privileges to enable shaders or not in game mode? Change single player or difficulty game change in game? Hashtag Q&A. So, this is kind of like 3 separate questions in one, so let's address this one by one. So first of all, will they add host privileges to enable shaders? That is very, very unlikely. When shaders do come to console, it'll be because they come to PC as like the default option. So that will never be like a turning on or off thing with the host options. And to be honest, like, you wouldn't want it on or off. It'd be like it might be a mod thing that you enable for the world or you don't enable. So the first one, I can categorically just say no, there won't be an enable shader. The second one, change game mode in game, or game mode. I reckon this is one that they have some reason that they won't tell us for, that they won't do it. Because if you don't know, there was a glitch that allowed you to change game mode in the game, and they actually patched it out and they didn't mention why, they didn't mention if it's like something they wanted. It's just like, oh yeah, we don't want that, so we patched that out. And yeah, it's really, really strange. For some reason, they just don't want you to be able to change game modes in game. I don't know why, but that means it's not going to be a host option. And finally, will you be able to change the difficulty change in game? or change single player. Difficulty change, I imagine it's the same thing. There's gotta be a reason. Like, on PC you can do it, but not on the console. And change from single player to multiplayer, that's something you should be able to do in game, because if you disconnect from live, it'll actually, like, turn you into a single player game. It'd make a lot more sense rather than having to go all the way out of the world, that you could just go and do that, and it mean that, like, if you go online, you stop wanting to do it, you can just take the world offline. I think that'd be pretty cool. Maybe there's some reasons for all these things. Like, again, 4G are kind of secretive when it comes to certain things about the console, and this is just one of them. So, yeah, that's to answer your question, kind of bit by bit there. Let's move on to the next one, which comes in from Hassan Zain, who asks, #QnA, when will we get new ores? And if not, what update will we get them in? So, currently on the PC, there is no new ores. I believe in 1.9, they've hinted very strongly that new ores are coming. Like, it's one of the things that they want to put in there. So, I imagine when we'll get new ores will be with 1.9 from the PC. Again, we don't know what the ores are going to be yet, because they've only just kind of hinted that there's going to be some form of new ore. But we don't have that even confirmed on the PC yet, so we don't know what the ore is going to be, but it probably would be the update after this one, potentially in this update, but very, 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 very unlikely. So yeah, that's the long answer to your question and the short one right there. Next question comes in from Tyler Perry. I assume the real Tyler Perry, because I think he's a writer of some form. Anyway, he asks, #QnA, do you think we'll be able to get stained glass without modding? Definitely. As I've mentioned this in a previous Q&A, that, like, if in the next big update there isn't stained glass, I will print out a piece of paper with my words on it, and I'll literally eat my own words. And I said the next big update. Lots of people are like, oh, this is a bug fix, I don't see stained glass. But the next big update, stained glass is so close to 100% confirmed. It's like literally 99.9% confirmed, because it's sat in the game files anyway. It makes sense for the next update anyway. And if it's not there, I will be so amazingly surprised, and I'll eat my words. So, next question comes in from Luke Harper Dennis, who asks, #QnA, Toycat, do you think that in TU25, sorry, the question just got past, we'll get 8 item frames that can turn any item at 45-degree angles? So, the answer to this question is that yes, I think it's very likely, not 100%, but I think this is very likely, because this is a 1.8 feature, but there is a lot of changes to the item frames in both 1.7 and 1.8, and I imagine they'll move both of them at the same time, because one of the 1.7 features, which is the map being placed in the frame and filling up the whole thing, that has been put in there now, so all of the other changes, which is items renamed using Anvil, will display their name, and also items and block display in the frame rotating at 45 degrees, as well as multiple item frames not being able to be placed in the same block. I imagine all of these together will just come in and we'll get the new improved item frame. I can't imagine they want to do it like bit by bit. That just seems a little too messy, and yeah, that's what I imagine is going on there. So, item frames at 45 degrees, almost guaranteed. It's an easy thing. So yeah, next question comes in from from Karina Marcellin, who asks, do you think they'll ever make a Mario skin pack? And the answer to this question is, I do not ever think that's likely, because the reason that they made the reason they make all their current skin packs is they want like a timeless skin pack, and they need to get the rights to do it. They give some amount of money to Marvel or The Simpsons or whoever it might be to actually make the skin pack. However, Mario, it is kind of that timeless one, but they would never get the license rights, because the thing about Nintendo, the thing that makes them so kind of great and so kind of bad, depending on how you look at it, is that they are really protective about their IP. They won't just let you use their property without unless there's some benefit to them too. And yeah, there's no benefit to them being in Minecraft, because it's not on Nintendo platform, so having their characters in it would just be universal bad for them. At least that's what they would figure anyway. So Mario skin pack, I'm afraid not. But the next question comes in from Childish the Gamer, who asks, an iPad can run Infinite Worlds, how on earth can an Xbox 360 not run them? And this is one that I come across a lot, and it's kind of an unfair question, because a lot of people think about it and they're like, whoa, that's weird, the iPad can run Infinite Worlds, or like your phone can run Infinite Worlds, but your 360 can't. Why is this? So let's just go step by step. First of all, the Xbox 360 it came out in 2005. That's a 10-year-old console that you are trying to play these games on, and honestly, it's holding up quite well. It's still playing games in HD 10 years later, which is like mind-blowing, given that they could barely play HD at the start, and now they're like almost full HD on a lot of games. So yeah, the fact that it's running at all is very amazing. But 10 years ago in technology, the technology was much worse. Like if you bought a car 10 years ago, it'd still be running. If you bought a cat 10 years ago, it'd still meow the same. Actually, that's a questionable one. But your cat would probably meow the same people 10 years ago. A console from 10 years ago is very, very outdated, and that is where the 360 is. Like, it's not exactly the same console from all those years ago. And I think the fact that it's still running Minecraft, still getting all these cool new features, is a testament to how amazing they're developing this stuff to actually run on it. Which I think that's one of the big things that is really cool, and that's what they're doing with last-gen consoles. However, they could run Infinite Worlds. The reason that they don't run Infinite Worlds is because they'd have to make serious sacrifices to some areas of the game, and it's like, having a smaller world is one of the easiest sacrifices. sacrifices. Like, it's better than having the game feel like not feel good at all when you control it, like run at 25 FPS or something. It's better, like, you know, when you play on PC and you get a really low frame rate, you wouldn't want that on console. You want it to be smooth and soft and whatever and all that sort of stuff. And second of all, they couldn't have infinite worlds they wanted to because there is save size restrictions on the consoles as to how big your saves can get. Whereas on the iPad, on the iPhone, on the Pocket Edition in general, the game is a massively cut down version of the game. It has so many features removed, and that's how it can run it. Second of all, there's no manufacturing guidelines, and third of all, like, a phone or a tablet today is arguably more powerful than, you know, a 360 can be. Like, you can get phones which are more powerful than an Xbox 360. You know, just RAM alone, like the 360 had 512 megabytes of RAM, and the PS3 had 256. Whereas you compare that to like a phone. I just bought my newest phone. It's got 3 gigabytes of RAM in there. It's not even an amazing phone. You can get like 4 gigs of RAM in a phone. You can get serious processors, serious power in a phone. And it's like, yeah, of course, that's going to be able to do some things that the 360 can't. So I will say the 360 running the full version of Minecraft is impressive. The phone couldn't do that even if it tried. So yeah, hopefully I answered your question somewhere in there. If you can't tell, I am a little ill today, but I hope I can still make points in there somewhere. If not, then just pretend I'm an old man yelling at a microphone. I mean, I'm 19. That's basically old man right there. So, no, I'm just joking around, of course. The next question comes in from Jojo Gaming, who asks, #QnA, what is a wither jockey? So I think I must have mentioned this in last week's Q&A, just like off the hand. A wither jockey is a rare mob that basically it's like a ridiculously rare chance to spawn if you spawn spiders in the Nether, which don't naturally spawn, so if you spawn eggs, and it's a 125 chance that you'll get a spider, but with a wither skeleton on top of it, jockeying it. And they're terrifying because they can climb walls, and they can wither you, and they can charge at ridiculous speeds, and that is a wither jockey. It's a pretty cool mob, that's that. So I hope you did enjoy this video, everybody. Please do like it if you did, share it if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here. I do a Q&A Saturday every single week, and subscribing keeps you up to date with all my Minecraft console videos, of which I do at least one per day. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'm gonna go and make myself a quiche. I found some quiches that don't have the crust. It's pretty swell. I like it a lot. And maybe like a smoothie or something to make me feel better. That makes perfect sense. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, thank you for watching. See you all in the next one.